Hey Bombers, I'm Megan Kostrowski.
And I'm Sierra Thompson, and this is Atomic TV. The yearbooks will be distributed on May 24th at our yearbook signing party in the Big Gym from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. No books can be picked up before then. There will also be snacks, music, a photo booth, games, and etc. Yearbooks are currently on sale with the bookkeeper for $65. If you can't come on May 24th, you may pick up your yearbook the following week in room 1240 before school, at lunch, or after school.
On Tuesday, there will be a French Club potluck after school, so make sure to be there.
The 2018-2019 dance team has some meetings coming up. The parent-student meeting will be May the 17th at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria. Workshops and skill development will be Monday the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th from 2:30 to 4 p.m.
And here's Cade.
Hey Bombers, I'm Cade Brefford and I'm with...
I'm Kate Hewitt. I'm a Scoville Peace Fellow with the Brookings Institution in D.C.
And I'm Erin Connolly. I'm from the Center for Arms Control and Nonproliferation, also in Washington, D.C.
Okay, what made you two decide to do what you do?
So I grew up in Richland, Washington. I am a bomber, born and raised. Graduated in 2009 from Richland High. I also had the opportunity to internship with Energy Northwest when I was a senior here as part of work-based learning, and then always had an interest in nuclear technology. I was interested also in international law, in politics, and in human rights, and was never really quite sure how those two things intertwined. But eventually I ended up getting my master's degree and studying the role of economic elites in starting and stopping nuclear weapons programs, and since then I have been actively engaged in policy debates and research and recommendations on Iran, North Korea, and U.S. Nuclear policy.
I initially became interested in the nuclear weapons debate during high school when I did a project on North Korea, and I kind of pursued this interest in college tangentially, and then after I did an internship at the Center for Arms Control where I am now, that really solidified my interest, and I pursued research in various aspects of arms control since then, and I was fortunate enough to find a job at the center upon graduation.
Okay, what are your daily lives when you're not involved with nuclear weaponry and such?
Oh, outside of nuclear weapons? Oh my gosh.
What we do at work or what we do outside of work?
Outside of work.
Oh, outside of work. Well, I very rarely have time to do anything outside of work. But
a lot of groups in our community.
We do a lot of networking with other young professionals in the field. So Erin and I actually met at a group of young professionals in Washington, D.C. that do nuclear weapons policy because we engage actively on the Hill. Like Erin engages with people on the Hill all day, and I work with experts in the field, either military officials or current or previous Secretaries of Defense, Secretary of States, intel officers, so it's kind of nice to get outside of that, of what we do every day, and interact with young professionals doing something similar to ourselves.
Yeah, so we have a lot of communities like that. I mean, DC is full of museums and fun things like that, but we do spend a lot of time at work, I have to say. And also just writing our own research in our free time is also something that we like to do, and projects like this came to be through that kind of stuff.
It's been a lovely time talking to you. Now back to the studio.
Now here's a teacher appreciation video.
To Mr. Allen, man, he the GOAT, and Mr. Murphy, for real.
To thank Miss Hammerberg.
I'd like to thank Miss Ashbeck, Mr. Ingram, Miss Edwards, Miss Todd, and Miss Aldridge.
I'd like to shout out Mrs. Markson for being a good mentor and good teacher.
I'd like to thank Mrs. White for being an awesome mentor and teaching all of us students in careers in education how to be great teachers. I want to thank Miss Westerfield for always putting up with me.
And I want to thank her for being always very understanding.
I'd like to thank Ms. Rivera for not only putting all of her attention on her work, but to also her students.
Thank you, Ms. Gatherer, for helping me with everything I needed in math. You're my favorite, love you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Rose for always being there for me when I needed him and always helping me out.
Thank Carlheim and Coach Ray for everything that he did for me.
I'd like to thank Ms. Markson for helping me plan my future and everything else that she does.
I want to thank Mr. Turner for being like my school dad, I guess, and watching after me after all these years and making fun of me every day during class. And I want to thank you for just making sure I'm all right every day and just being there whenever I need.
So Mr. Spencer, if y'all don't know, is the best chem teacher. Sorry, Fetro. And I thank you, Mr. Spencer, for being like super great.
Thank you, Mr. Wheel Dog.
I really appreciate you always making fun of Nolan House in class, and thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Mr. Neidhold, for being such a great inspiration for me.
Merci beaucoup, madame.
Shout out to Miss Westerfield because she always knows what she's teaching and talking about, and she's a really good teacher.
I would like to thank Mrs. Rivera for being a fantastic teacher and connecting with her students.
All right, I would like to thank Mr. Murphy for being an awesome and amazing teacher.
I wanted to thank Miss Murphy because she's helped me with so much in my personal life, and she helps me with my art, which really allows me to express myself.
I want to thank Miss Coclazier for being there for me when I need her since freshman year. And she's like a second mom to me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Miss Coclazier.
Thanks, guys! I want to thank Mrs. Buchek for always believing in me and believing in my goals and dreams. I was going through a hard time and with my grades and with my minds and my dream, and she helped me through it, and I just want to thank you, Ms. Buchek. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank Ms. Gatherer because she's helped me so much in math this year that I know I can do it now, and I'd like to thank her for that.
I'm thankful for Mr. Murphy because he always supports me and wants me to be my best self.
I'm thankful for Mrs. Markison because she puts in the most work and gets the most out of her students.
Thank you, Mr. Fetro, for helping me understand chemistry back in freshman year. You've still been my favorite teacher since day one, so thank you for all that you do.
I'd like to thank Miss Markison for being such a great teacher. I can tell that she cares about what she's doing and that she enjoys teaching.
I want to thank Ms. Franklin for always being there for me, even through my hard times.
Thank you. Thank you for making us always prepared. We love you, Ms. Markson.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. I want to thank Mr. Yanamitsu. Everything he does really adds up.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Allen. He's great.
I know it's Teacher Appreciation Week, but I want to thank my mom for being a great staff member and always giving me food.
I want to thank Mrs. White for always being a great teacher and having patience with me.
There's a lot of people I'd love to thank, one of them being Miss Markell. Thank you for being there for me through everything.
I'd just like to thank Coach Stroifert for always pushing me to be the best I could be for these 4 years of high school.
Next week, we are planning a fun Zumba activity during lunch to help improve your mental health. Stay tuned for more info.
We hope you have a great day, Bombers. Now please stand for the pledge.